Hello and welcome back. It has been a while and yeah, I think I'm gonna come back. I miss booktube and I miss doing these videos, and so yeah, when you guys last saw me I was a mess. I had just recently gone through a really hard loss and a really unexpected loss, and so yeah, I just kind of lost all passion for life and everything last year. So it has been a long time since I've been doing, since I've done it, and to be honest, last year I didn't read as much. Like I said, I kind of just lost passion for everything, and that's really sad, but you know, grief can do that to you. But I'm back. It's a new year and I want to be back on booktube, and I want to be a bigger reader. I love to read. It's one of my favorite things to do in life, and so when I look back at my Goodreads reading goal for the prior year, I get a little sad because I'm like, damn, I didn't read at all, and that's horrible. And yeah, so, you know, I'm determined to come back this year. I'm determined to read more. I'm determined to be creative and fall back in love with my passions and reading and books and all that. And really, I just love to be creative, and I think book talk, or, well, not really talk, but booktube is such a fun place to be in, such a fun place to be creative. So I'm back and I'm feeling more excited by the minute. But yeah, I thought, why not just start off with a quick TBR and to get back into it. And so yeah, here I am, and let's get into it. I have a good lineup for y'all, okay? It's not a lot. I am not some of the people who do TBRs, like their weekly TBRs, and they can read like 7 million books, I am so impressed by you, and I love that for you, but that is not me. Your girl is a busy girl, okay? She cannot do all that. And also, I tend to not quite like audio as much, which is fine. I think to each is your own. So I am a reader and I sit down and actually read, and I cannot read as fast as the audiobooks can tell me the story. So yeah, just a quick little TBR to get into it, and yeah, and some kind of like fun things, I think. I don't know, we'll see. Yeah, so shall we get into it? I think so. And we're past Christmas, I'm very excited for the first book on my TBR, and yeah, so don't judge because it's after Christmas and it's kind of a Christmas book. Don't judge. But your girl has fallen in love with her, and before I left, I was kind of starting to already fall in love with horror, but afterwards, the things I read last year were pretty much all horror. If I did read anything, it was horror. And yeah, she's fallen in love. She's in love. And so the first book on my TBR is a horror book, and it is Candy Cane Kills. First of all, look at this cover. What? She's awesome. It's amazing. Oh, what fun it is to die is great. It's hilarious. So I was recommended to read this book by a friend, or like, I guess an acquaintance. I don't know. I think a friend, maybe. What? Anyways, I work at this cute little pub, and one of my coworkers, her boyfriend, he is actually a horror literature writer and professor. He is a horror literature writer and professor, and he recommended this to me, and he knows of this author. I think he knows the author. So I was like, okay, of course I'm gonna look this up. Clearly you know what you're talking about. So I just got this in the mail a couple of days ago. Basically what this is about is, okay, so years prior there was a serial killer in this town, and he goes away scot-free, never to be captured. Then this family is going to rent out a cabin out in the middle of nowhere, and they're gonna stay for the holidays. The family itself is going through some issues, but then the killer comes back, and the killer was known as Candy Cane. So Candy Cane comes back and starts wreaking some havoc. So yeah, I have read the first chapter, and that has gotten, I actually read the first 2 chapters, so I'm on page, where am I? Not that far in, page 20. And so far I'm loving it. It's already creepy. But yes, I'm very excited for this one. And this one really shouldn't take me that long. It is, I think, 145 pages. So this should be a quick read for me. And it is technically the second book in the series, but it's not a series that you have to read in order. So the series is called Killer VHS series, and it is by Brian McCauley. So Candy Cane Kills by Brian McCauley, and it's a short little quick read, and I'm very excited to get into it and find the horror of it all. Alright, so that is the first one, and like I said, chapter 3, and I will keep you updated on this one. The next one I'm reading is so silly because it's not that silly. It's an older one. I'm pretty sure everyone already has read this one, which is what it is. I'm behind on everything. That's my life in general. But the next one on my TBR was given to me to borrow by the same friend who introduced me to the person who suggested this. That's why I thought it'd be funny to do them together. But one of my coworkers, she's also a big reader, and we were talking about books one day, and she was like, I got some books, and I was like, I got some books. So we swapped some books, and so she let me borrow this one, and it is, I don't have the sleeve for it, the cover for it, so it's a great book, babe. No, this one is The Poppy Wars. Yes, The Poppy Wars by R.F. Juan? You know, still cannot pronounce anyone's name, so sorry. So I'm actually quite excited for this one. This is not the typical type of book I read, and but looking on Goodreads, it has amazing reviews, and the story sounds right up my alley. I am a history lover as well, so this one is got a lot going on. She is a thick girl, okay? So she is about, let's find out, like 500 and something pages. Yes, 527 pages. So she's a chonker, but this is a series. This is the first in the series, and I've heard that the first one, chef's kiss, amazing, great, love it, okay? But the second in the series kind of hits like a, I don't know, a wall, I guess, and the third comes back. I don't know. So we will see how I feel about this first one to decide if I'm gonna continue this series or not. I'm not one who, I love a series, but I'm also not one to be like, I have to finish the series because I started the series. If the first one isn't vibing with me, goodbye. If the second one, I'm like, I'm also one who doesn't mind spoilsies, so if I read the second one and I'm like, what? And I don't like the way the story, this is bad of me, but I don't like this where the story is going. I'll be like, peace, or I'll Google and be like, does the third one bring it to where I needed to be? Will it bring me back to where I need to be? And if it doesn't, I'll put the series down. I don't care, but I don't think that's gonna happen. I don't know, maybe it will, we'll see. We're gonna read this and then we'll determine, will I continue the series? We shall see. What is this one about is an interesting question. Because it seems like a lot happens in this, but basically what I know of this is our main character, she is going to test very highly into a military school that is so hard to get into. In fact, the test itself is so hard, and it takes place in, I don't even know when it takes place. Let's see, hold on. Pause. Okay, here we go. Let's just read what Goodreads has to say. An epic, historical military fantasy inspired by the bloody history of China's 20th century, filled with treachery, magic. When Rin, is our main character, aced the Koju, the empire-wide test to find the most talented youth to learn the academics, it was a shock to everyone. To the test officials who couldn't believe a war orphan from Rostar province could pass without cheating. To Rin's guardians who believed they'd finally be able to marry her off and further their criminal enterprise. And to Rin herself, who realized she was finally free of the servitude and despair that had made up her daily existence. That she got into Sinagard, the most elite military school in Nikan, was even more surprising. But surprises aren't always good, because being a dark-skinned peasant girl from the south is not an easy thing at Sinagard. Targeted from the outset by rival classmates for her color, poverty, and gender, Rin discovers she possesses lethal, unearthly power, an aptitude for the nearly mythical art of shamanism. Exploring the depths of her gift with the help of a seemingly insane teacher and psychoactive substance, Rin learns that gods long thought dead are very much alive, and that mastering control of those powers could mean more than just surviving school. For a while the Nikar, I'm butchering that name, I'm sure, Empire is at peace at the moment, the Federation of Magron still lurks across a narrow sea. The military advanced Federation occupied Nikon for decades after the First Poppy War, and only barely lost the continent in the Second War. And while most of the people are complacent and go about their lives, a few are aware that the Third Poppy War is just a spark away. Rin's shamanic powers may be the only way to save her and her people, but she finds out more about the gods that have chosen her. The vengeful Phoenix, she fears that winning the war may cost her humanity, and that it may already be too late. So that's a lot. I will not lie. My goodness, that took a lot out of me just to get through the description. But, I mean, she's also a chunker, so she's got a lot going on. Let me tell you though, that sounds so fascinating. I think it's gonna be fabulous, honestly. I think I'm gonna end up very much loving this book. I have started it. In fact, I've started all the books on my TBR. I'm not that far in. I'm on chapter 4, I believe. A little into chapter 4. Where is she? chapter 4, somewhere in here. So about like 60 pages in already. So far though, I am really enjoying it, and I am excited to see where this story goes. Her, like, teacher that I think she ends up getting close with that is maybe psychotic, he already is kind of hilarious in this book. He's already been introduced, and he does seem a little, like, cuckoo, but we love that. So I'm very excited for this one, and yeah, I hope you are. If you've read it, let me know what you think, how you feel about it. But that is that. And the third and last book on my TBR is one that I am very excited about, and one that's also gonna have a little bit of an explanation and a little bit of a plug for something else that I have been working on. And I've been working on, I've been doing for the past year, but I am feeling more vibrant and in love with life again, so I feel like I will push it more this year. So the third and final book on my TBR is Storyville, New Orleans, being an authentic illustration account of the notorious red light district. I kind of mentioned already that I'm a history lover. I absolutely love history. Love history. I love history. But I've specifically found that I love a certain type of history. And if we are seeing what I mean, I love to learn about the ladies of the evening. I know this is YouTube, so I have to be careful with what I say, but I specifically really love to learn about the rich history of the ladies of the evening throughout our history, and boy oh boy is there a lot. So I am reading this one because, well, let me tell you about this one. This one is by Al Rose, and like I said, it is a deep dive into the notorious red light district of New Orleans, a legal red light district, one of the first of its kind in America, and it ran for over 20 years, a very long time, to be honest. So this really goes into what it was like to live in New Orleans at that time, what it was like to work in the red light district, and what the vibe was. And so, yeah, I actually love the back of this book. She is stunning. She is gorgeous. And this is a famous photo of a working girl. We'll just leave it at that. As I think his name was E.Q. Becott. He was a famous photographer who did a lot of photography work in Storyville as he kind of grew up there. His mom, I believe, worked in a house, and he just kind of grew up in this vibe and area. So yeah, so why am I reading this? One, I love history, and I love this certain type of history, but two, last year I started a podcast called Paying For It, and it is on Spotify and all the audio platforms, but also YouTube. If this sounds like something you're interested in, where I deep dive into our history of the ladies of the evening, I will link it below. If it is not something you're interested in, that is totally fine too. If you're just here for the book talk, I keep calling it book talk, but it's book two, but it's because I have TikTok on my mind, I guess. But yeah, I am very excited. I am deep into this one, honestly. I've been reading this one since before the new year. This one is a very dense book. It is like almost like a textbook. So I am about, if I'm being real, I'm almost done with the book. I've been reading it heavy these last couple days as I'm doing a podcast on it. I'm doing an episode on it. I'm on page 125 out of 217, not including the index. So yes, I am almost done with this one, but like I said, it's very dense. So even though it does seem like I'm really almost done, there's still a lot to go, baby, a lot to go. So yeah, she's gorgeous, she's beautiful. But part of my new lease on BookTube is that, and just reading in general, I'm going to start making it a priority to start reading historical accounts about our lovely ladies of history, specifically involving the ladies of the evening, because I love to learn about them. And also because I am doing that podcast, and yeah, one of my goals for my podcast for season 2 that is just starting is to really deep dive into the stories and get into like historical nitty-gritty of it all. I know that one thing is that when I was doing it last year, one, it was just keeping me semi-sane because I was losing it a bit, but two, I just felt like I had to do what all the other podcasters do, which was get an episode out every week, and I've learned that that is not how I vibe. I don't vibe that way, and I was missing out on some really good like stories of some of these ladies. Like, I would have a list of ladies I wanted to do, pick a lady for that episode, and then find out halfway through writing the episode that there was like a book on her, and then I'd not be able to read the book. So my goal this year for season 2 is to read the books and really get into the history of it all and bring that to you. So like I said, if that is something you're interested in, I'll link it below. And if not, no big deal. I do suggest that if you're into something like that, go back and watch some of my episodes before. There are some goodies for sure. And season 2 is only gonna get better, baby. Only gonna get better. So yeah, those are my TBR. That is my TBR for this couple days coming up. Couple weeks, I don't know. I'm assuming that the Poppy Wars is gonna take me a while, to be honest, just because she's maybe not, maybe I'll get into it and just be like, damn, she's good, I can't put her down, we will see. So far I actually haven't been able, like I just started the Poppy Wars a couple days ago, so you know, we'll see where it goes. But those are them, and I'm very excited, and I will keep you updated. This channel is just gonna be a fun little, you know, what I'm feeling as I'm feeling it. Vlogs, reading, videos, TBRs, all that good stuff. You know what Book Talk's all about. God, I said it again. I can't get over it. I'm sorry. But yeah, those are my 3 books on my TBR at the moment. I would love to hear what you have on your TBR, and I'd love to hear if you've read any of these or if you're interested in reading any of these. And yeah, I will keep you updated on how I feel about these very, very soon. But until then, thank you so much for being here if you are here. And I hope you're excited to see where we go with this. All right. Yeah, let me know what you're thinking down below, and I will see you next time. All right. Bye. I don't know why I'm still holding these this way. I just feel like I look so cute in the little camera finder, whatever. Anyways, bye.